We all get that strange feeling sometimes, like someone's behind us, when no one is there, or eyes are following us even in an empty room. Most of the time, we shake it off, blame it on nerves, stress, or the imagination. But what if that feeling was real? What if someone was watching quietly, patiently, from the shadows, waiting for the moment you let your guard down? It always starts with a feeling subtle, easily dismissed, like the soft brush of static against your skin, or a shadow that lingers just a little too long in the corner of your eye. And for countless people who've lived to whisper the truth in hushed tones, the feeling wasn't imagined. It was a warning, one that arrived too late to stop what followed. Like Jennifer McAllister, a 34-year-old veterinary nurse from Spokane, Washington, who began noticing her porch light turning on at odd hours, always around 3 a.m., and blamed faulty wiring until the discovery of faint shoe prints in the flower bed beneath her living room window shattered her peace prints that grew bolder, closer, and eventually left muddy streaks against her sliding glass door. When she finally installed the camera, the footage showed a man standing absolutely still for hours at a time, never moving, only watching. Or like Miguel Torres, a former corrections officer from El Paso, who kept catching a glimpse of something reflective outside his third-story apartment. At first, he thought it was a drone, then a neighbor's wind chime, until one night he realized the flicker came from a pair of binoculars held by a man standing motionless on the adjacent rooftop, tracking Miguel's every movement for weeks, until police intervened and discovered detailed floor plans of his apartment sketched in pencil across pages of a filthy notebook. Not all stories are caught on film. Sometimes, it's just a slow descent into madness that reveals the truth. Like for Cassie and Jordan, a young couple who moved into a secluded fixer-upper in upstate New York. It started with Cassie waking in the night to find the curtains open when she was sure she'd closed them, or the porch chair slightly angled toward the bedroom window. Jordan laughed it off, even when he found half-smoked cigarettes in the driveway and muddy handprints near the shed. But Cassie stopped laughing when she woke to someone breathing heavily on the baby monitor, even though their daughter was asleep beside her. And Jordan only believed her when he finally saw the faded face in the upstairs window while standing beside Cassie in the front yard. These aren't ghost stories, dear, about real people, real eyes, and real consequences. Like Avery, a freelance photographer from Portland, who rented a cheap Airbnb for a 2-week forest retreat to finish editing wedding photos, unaware that a man had been squatting in the attic for months, watching renters through drilled peepholes and carefully taking souvenirs, toothbrushes, socks, a single earring. Until one night, she woke to find her own camera set up on a tripod, positioned at the foot of her bed, with the red recording light blinking. Or like Deshaun, a college sophomore in Georgia, who started getting random calls from unknown numbers late at night, always silent, sometimes with shallow breathing. Guntle, one day he found a package outside his dorm room containing a USB with video footage of him walking to class, eating in the cafeteria, even sleeping in his bed, filmed through the dorm's ventilation slats. The stalker was never caught, but Deshaun dropped out and moved states, convinced the watcher still follows. Surveillance, you think, is a government problem until it becomes your own. Take Erin, a single mother in Detroit, who worked 2 jobs, and left her teenage daughter home alone most nights. She didn't believe her daughter's claims about being watched until her daughter vanished, leaving only a cracked cell phone on the kitchen counter and a webcam recording showing a masked figure standing silently in the hallway for over 45 minutes before the screen went black. Some watchers crave terror, others seek connection, like an elderly man in Phoenix who regularly called local talk shows, claiming his neighbor had been watching him through his microwave. He was dismissed as sentimental. He was found dead, suffocated, in his chair, with the microwave ripped out of the wall and the panel pried open to reveal a miniature camera installed behind the mesh. The man upstairs really had been watching, Some people pay for protection. Others learn too late that no lock is safe. Think of Natalie, a barista in Denver, who had a regular customer, polite man in his 50s, who always ordered the same drink and asked innocent questions about her schedule. She thought he was lonely until she came home one night to find all the lights in her apartment dimmed, a single candle burning on the kitchen table, and her favorite playlist playing softly from her speaker. The man emerged from the hallway holding a bouquet and said, "You didn't lock the back door again." The police said she was lucky most aren't, like the couple in Baton Rouge who vanished without a trace. Their home found undisturbed except for dozens of Polaroid photos taped to the underside of their furniture. Photos taken from within their home, all dated weeks before their disappearance. Some stories come from childhood myths you bury until the pattern repeats, like Jason, a middle-aged engineer in Ohio, who never told anyone about the man who used to stand outside his window every night when he was 10, just watching, even in the rain. He forgot until his own 10-year-old son began describing a man with teeth too small for his mouth, who stood outside his window at night, silent and still, even in the rain. Even children are watched, even babies, like a new mother in Atlanta who thought she heard scratching in the baby's room and blamed raccoons until a neighbor spotted a man crawling out from beneath the house and sprinting into the woods. Police found a sleeping bag, food wrappers, and a vent that had been tampered with to allow a view directly into the nursery. Some watchers never enter, and that's what makes it worse, not knowing when they will. Like a traveling nurse in Nevada, who woke every night to the sound of clicking, a rhythmic metallic sound she thought was plumbing guntal. Her boyfriend recorded the noise and matched it to the pattern of a camera lens adjusting focus. They never found the camera, but they found footprints outside every window, and scratch marks on the glass, where someone had pressed hard, as if trying to get in. Some people are watched across decades, like a woman in Maine, who discovered that the same man had appeared in the background of every family Christmas photo since 1993. Just far enough away to blend into the crowd, but close enough to always face the camera. When the police investigated, they found dozens of photos in his home, all of her, all dated, labeled, and sorted by hair length. The woman moved out of the country. He followed. For every story told, there are thousands that remain buried, either too frightening to relive, or because the watcher never left a trace, except the feeling that you're not alone, that someone sees you, even when you lock the doors, draw the curtains, turn out the lights. Sometimes, they watch because they can. Sometimes, they watch because they've already chosen you. And sometimes, you don't realize you were being watched until it's far too late and you become just another whisper in the long, terrifying truth. Someone is always watching. If this story sent chills down your spine, don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and leave a comment below. Your support helps keep the horrors coming. Have you ever felt like you were being watched? Tell us your story, if you dare.